Portrait retouching can be quite difficult and time consuming. And if you want to save some time while still getting the best quality results, then this AI retouching app is the best for you. Let me show you how to use it. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to retouch using AI. And the software we're going to be using is Evoto. Mind you, this is not a paid promotion. I'm just reviewing the product for the YouTube channel. So we're going to load our app right here, and I have it on my desktop as Evoto. So I'm going to click this. It doesn't take so long to load, about 5 to 10 seconds, and then it opens up its interface. I said 5 to 10 seconds, don't disappoint. Accelerating hardware. All right. So the app is open and it shows you your recent projects. The first thing we would like to do is to create a new project. Okay. Let me name this project trial. So you have three options. You can import images, you can import a folder, or you can import a Lightroom catalog. For this particular video, I'm going to import pre-downloaded images from Dirty Studio. Okay, so let's go to import, and you're going to select the directory where you have your pictures, and then you bring it into the app. So I have mine on external. I don't have it raw, Dirty Studio, and these. And this last picture is from signatureedits.com. And I'm actually going to place all the links in the description so that if you want to download stock raw photos, you can actually bring them in. So all these pictures are going to be raw photos, and I'm importing them into our app. So as you can see, it says 6 images imported. So right now, let's test what this app can do. So when we come to color adjustments, I usually don't use this app for my color grading. I usually use Photoshop Camera Raw and Lightroom for my color grading. So we're not going to touch a lot of color grading in this session. We're going to be looking at the retouching. So my most favorite feature here is this one, which says portrait retouching. So when we come into portrait retouching, we have a lot of stuff. With this app, the first thing it actually does is it recognizes the face and it can tell you which kind of model you're working with. So in this case, we have male, female, child, senior, all, and individual. With individual, you can select which faces you want your retouches to focus on in case you have like a group photo, two or more people. So in this case, our app has recognized that we're working with a female, and then we have female selected. In case it makes a mistake, which in my opinion, it has never done in terms of selecting the gender of our model, you can easily just change it in here. So let's go in and see what this app has to offer. So the first thing we see here is blemish removal. So with blemish removal, we can see freckles and acne, freckles and acne. So when you start dragging the slider, the rest will open up. So let's just say I wanted to go through all of these at once, but let's just do it with a practicality. Okay. So to zoom in, Control Plus, just as in Photoshop or Lightroom. And with Evoto, the simplest thing is you can just drag the sliders, okay? And you don't lose quality, in my opinion, as the edits go on. So let's start with freckles and acne. This particular model doesn't have a lot of freckles, no acne. So let's drag this slider. Let's drag it all the way to 100, and then we see what our AI does. So to see your befores and afters, you just have to click this particular thing right here. So before you click, and then as we can see, the a little blemishes on the face in terms of acne, and they're off. So if you just want to select which ones that you want the AI to focus on, if you don't want your freckles touched, you can easily slide the freckle slider down. And with acne too, if you don't want it touched, you slide it all the way down. So as you can see, the acne is back on our model's face, and we can go back. So that's with blemish removal. And one nice thing I like is it separates the freckles and the acne from the face mole. So in the sense where you have clients who want to keep their distinct face features like face moles and stuff, you can easily keep that in and it won't recognize your face mole as freckles or acne as compared to other skin retouching software where once you click like a skin fine or something, it removes everything. So let's go to, let's say our client wants her face mole removed. So we click face mole removal, and as we can see, the face mole was once there. Let me zoom in, and it's back. Face mole off. So before and after for acne and face mole. Okay. We're wondering what else this app can do. We don't have a lot of body here, so we'll go to a picture where we have a lot of body, and then we'll do body blemishes. So let's say we have a slightly overexposed image, not even slightly overexposed. We have an image where the client has a lot of shine on the face. You can easily drag the slider which says reduce face shine. And here we don't have much of that, so you won't really see the difference. Forehead wrinkles, none of those. Eye wrinkles, also none of those. Dark circles, not really the picture for us to experiment this on. But yeah, if you can see right here, before, after, you can see that it's done a very good job removing the dark eye circles. Okay. So now let's go to one interesting part that I usually like to use. When you come under skin retouching, we can see this. We can either even with dodge and bend, or we can sculpt with dodge and bend. So dodge and bend is, I wouldn't say it's a complex technique, but it's a pretty time consuming technique. And when you are within Evoto AI, you can easily do this. So let's go even with dodge and bend. Let's slide this all the way up. Then we see what Evoto does. Okay. So this is our image without dodge and burn, our image with dodge and burn. So this evens the highlights and the darker parts of our image. So now the next feature is sculpting with dodge and burn. So we want our client to have um, more pronounced face features. I almost said patients because I'm a medical student. We want our clients to have more pronounced face features. So let's drag this to somewhere about, okay, let's do it all the way to 100, and then we drag it to where we feel like it's more suitable. So if for those of you who do a lot of beauty shots, like for makeup brands and stuff, so this is it before, and we can see the amount of structure that this has applied to the face. But in my opinion, it's slightly too much, so I'm going to drag this to about half. Okay, so before and after. I like how client's jaw is more pronounced. Yeah, and also the bit around the face. Okay. So there's also another option to do your frequency separation. For those of you who don't know what frequency separation is, it's just a retouching technique that separates our textures from our colors, and then we can work on those individually. So with frequency separation, you can also drag this all the way up. Evoto does much of the frequency separation for you, and then you can decide which one you want to work on. So high frequency usually works with textures, and then low frequency works with colors. So this is without our frequency separation. As you can see, look under the eyes and then around the face. Okay, so let's drag our frequency separation all the way up, and then we can see the amount of structure that frequency separation has added to this image. So let's say we want to play a lot with the colors. We drag this up just for the low frequency slider. So we can see, let me drag this all the way up, and then you see. So this is going to be the before for our image, and then the after. Before, after, before, after. Depending on how dramatic you want your edit to be, then you can always throw up a slider and then see how you want your image to appear finally. Okay, enough of this particular image. Let's go to the next one. So I'll show you what we can do with the photo AI. So I'm on our still image. Okay. All right. So we saw a pretty easy example as to the freckles and the acne. And with this model right here, you can see that we have comparatively a lot more acne as compared to the previous one. So let's see what Evoto can do with freckles and acne. So I usually like to drag this all the way up to 100. And wow, let's look at the before and after, before and after, before and after. Okay, let's see. Reduce face shine. There's a bit of face shine. Okay. So let's say we don't want her face shining at all, as we could see in these areas here and around here. So before, after. Okay. But she looks a bit flat in terms of the lights. So I'll bring this down to 60 and yeah, this is okay with me. Okay. So let's go to skin retouching because that's mostly what we do as retouchers and photographers. So again, even with dodge and burn, okay, done a pretty good job. Scalp to dodge and burn all the way up. Let's see what it can do with our model's face. Wow. So you can see the highlights and the contours blended in nicely. So so you can always adjust these in. So we have facial contours, facial features, facial contours, 100. Let's see. So in my opinion, this app does a very good job when it comes to retouching. The next thing we can also do is in the skin texture, we can always select the kind of texture that we want. So you can see like we have like a matte look over here. There's another one, the satin, which brings some lights under her eyes. And we have this dewy look. And you can always adjust the glossiness and then the texture of any of these. So to zoom out and zoom in, you can also use your scroll button on your mouse if you're using an external mouse or even on your mouse pad. So the next thing that is quite interesting here is AI Unified Face Complexion. So this tries to unify all the colors on the face and give your model a more uniform skin tone. So let's see how this works. Drag it all the way. And it's processing right here. So it's done. And let's see. Drag this all the way back. So this is our before. And let's see what it does. The skin after. Okay. So far with our edits, before and after, before and after. So we can also select the skin tone, and this is a bit more subjective than it is objective. So if you, the retoucher, decide that, okay, because looking at our model's complexion, we obviously can go select this for her. It now makes her face look really washed. So you can always scroll through and then see which one of them works quite best for your model. You can reduce the amount or you can increase it all the way up. Okay. In my opinion, this looks like a sampled color from Photoshop, which was painted in and not really adjusted. So let's keep it somewhere at 50. Also not so good. So depending on the picture you have and the image you want, you as the retoucher know what's best or what your client has decided. Usually try not to crank up this amount all the way to 100. Try to keep it somewhere minimal. Okay. We have before and after. But for this, I'm not going to select any skin tone. I'm only trying to show you how it works. So let's look at the darker skin tone here and can adjust this all the way. Our image looks yellow. All right. Somewhere here looks good. But anyway, with this particular image, I don't think I want any of these. So we can go to a facial reshape. I personally don't believe in remodeling clients, so unless they really ask for it, but then you can play with these sliders here. You can play with the head pose. Yeah, it's doing a very weird job, but it depends on the kind of image that you have to. Okay, so the next thing you can do is adjust the eyes, the mouth, the nose, and all these kind of things. Like I said, I don't really like remodeling a client's face unless they ask for it or body in general. Okay, so the next interesting feature here is on the makeup. So with makeup, let me use this image. Okay, so one nice thing again about Evoto is you can easily copy your presets. Okay, I won't say your presets, but your edit. So let's say with everything I've done here, if I want to apply it to this previous image, I'm only going to hold this as my base, hold on Shift or Control, and then select the next image. So this would be my source image, and this would be the one where I want the effects applied to. And all I have to do is to click Sync. So it brings up these AI color adjustments, portrait retouching, background adjustments, clothes and accessory adjustments, and crop and rotate. So let's see, what do I want? I didn't do any AI color adjustments, so I can leave this. Color adjustments, portrait retouching was my main. Yeah, so I also didn't do anything to the clothes and accessories, so I'm going to click sync right here. So let's see what it does to our image. So we can see here processing. So we just have to wait a bit and then see what, wow, okay. So it copied our edits from the previous picture, as in whatever we did with freckles and the acne, the makeup, the contours and the highlights and everything. And before, before, after. I personally believe in not working too hard if you can actually save time. There's um there's no glory for working too hard. If you can save your time 10 out of 10 so that you can actually have time to do other things, then yeah, if you can afford it, why not? So this is our before and this is our after. So the next thing I wanted us to look at is makeup. So you can always drag your highlight slider. Too much highlights in this image, but it actually works in my eye. But let's keep this somewhere around 60. Okay. And with your contours, you can also do same. As we can see, our image has more pronounced face structure now. Before and after. Okay. So with the eye makeup, do, can always adjust the amount of makeup around the eyes. So this is for the left eye, and it also automatically adjusts for the right. If you don't want that, you can always click this and then separate them. Okay, so we're looking at before and after. So this would actually save you a lot of time as to doing this manually in Photoshop, which I also do once in a while, or should I say most of the time, once in a while. The bit about this app that most of us, should I say most of us, or yeah, most people, even me included, don't really like is that it's credit based. And so when you come here, you can see that I got a total of 850 credits, 815 credits, and now I have about 778 credits remaining. So anytime you export an image, it's actually going to decrease your credits. And yeah, people don't like the fact that it's a credit-based system, but I would also understand the developers for choosing this particular type of system. All right. So let's go to our next image. And there was a particular image I wanted to show you guys something on, and I just did not upload this image into our presentation. Okay, so let's sync our edits. Let's see how well it does. So let's say you have a bunch of images taken from the same portrait shoot, and you'd like to um, bring all those into Evoto. You can easily just edit your first one. If they are on the same profile, you just edit your first one, and then you can do something like this. This will be your source image, and then you sync to all of that. Okay, but let's go back to the image that we were editing. Okay, so as we can see here, we've done a lot with the face, and then much of the body isn't touched. And this is where this app again comes into play. So as we're done with the face, one thing you can see here is blemish removal. So let's say you want to remove these body blemishes. Okay, so you can see our client has a bit of blemishes here, somewhere around the neck and also on the skin. So let's say she doesn't want them there. She wants them removed. Or pay your visual style if you have 100% authority over the project, you can always remove body blemishes. And let's see. Okay. So these are before and after, before and after. So we can see that our body blemishes are quite removed. Mm, With our face shine too, we can easily also reduce this slightly. And yeah, so let's say our client has double chins, you can also easily erase that. So someone might be asking, what about this little bit over here? With this, there's a masking option, and you can always go into your healing tool and to decrease the size of the brush. It's also the same as Photoshop. You use your curly brackets. So let's say I want the spot healing tool right here. This one. Okay. Or the clone stamp tool. So with clone stamp, what happens is you can easily choose which part of the image you want to source from and you replace. So let's try out the spot healing tool. Why is this not coming in? Okay, so I hit too small to notice. And yeah, so I wouldn't want this video to be too long, so I'll cut it here. I'm sure most of you can actually already see the capabilities of this app. And if you want to export, all you just have to do is to come to export and yeah, you select your folder. So let's say I want it exported to a specific folder, pictures. I can easily create a new folder, but I'm not going to export for the sake of my credits. So you come here, you can easily select the profile bit. You can export as a JPEG, you can export as a TIFF file. In case you want to take it back into Lightroom, your Lightroom catalog and work on it. Because I find TIFF files they contain a lot of detail, and then you can take it back into Lightroom, take it into Photoshop, do any more adjustments that you want. Okay, so this. All right, last thing that I wanted to show you guys, let me just show so that we can have a video around the 25-minute mark. Okay, so we have a video here with the backdrop and a picture here with the backdrop. And someone might be asking, does this app also help you with your background? I would say yes. So let's come into this, which one? This one, which says background adjustments. So let's see. The first thing we would like to do is to remove distractions from our background. And it did an auto detect and actually realized that there were no distractions on this particular background. Okay, so let's remove this. So let's go and clean our backdrop. Okay, wow. So just pay close attention to the backdrop. This is our before and our after. Before and after. So yeah, Iboto does a very good job in my opinion. And there are a lot of, I won't say a lot, there's just a couple of features, about one or two that I've noticed that it slightly lacks in. And but yeah, those are very negligible stuff you can always fix in Photoshop. So I'm going to end this video here. If you want more information about this app, you can always type in the comments and I'll do my best to reply. For now, I'm going to end the video here. If you like this video, you can subscribe to the channel, you can leave a like, or you can tell other people about the channel.